All right, this is 40. I think it's a TV show. I don't know. You ever heard of This Is 40?
Nope.
This is 40 helped me choose happiness and end my marriage.
Oh my God.
Let me see. I think. Let me see.
What's the story behind this?
I think it was an article thing. Let me see if I still have it.
This is 40. Never heard about it.
Let me see. I still have it. Let me see if I have that. I don't remember where I got that from, but I thought, regardless if we find the article or not, it would be a great topic, to talk about. The reality is that a lot of TV shows is destroying what we've always known.
No go.
Mori, I found it.
Wow.
A lot of TV shows are destroying what we know, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. It might be a bad thing for you personally, in the grand scheme of things, right? I saw somebody say, "Oh yeah, but the currency, the value of the currency. If Naira, if the government pump money into the system and then reduce interest rates, this is how they print money. Reduce interest rate, the cost of money. That's bad for all of us. That's fluff money. Well, it might be good for individuals who need the help, but in the grand scheme of things, it's true. It will decrease the value of the money, like over time." And the general economy.
Isn't that what we're going through right now in the United States?
Somebody has to pay for that money.
All that free money now. Look at what's going on.
So it's the same thing.
Free.
Yep. So it's basically the same concept when it comes to all these new things, new evolutions. Marriage is obsolete. This is the way they do it now. Some of us like polyamorous right now. What's polyamorous? Have multiple husbands.
They want multiple. They want options.
Polygyny, some, right? And no, we just do one child. Even the idea of doing one child, 2 children, is not a good thing for nation building, unless you're trying to control population over a small area. But that affects, because remember, for every person, for you, it's just 2 children. But you think about how many millions of people have 2 children. Does that increase population or lower population?
Or the ones that don't even have it all.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. So the point I'm making here is that there are TV shows that are pushing new agendas, things that are strange to us, things that we're not familiar with from the social construct. It might have always existed, but it's not just stuff in our face like that, And we're uncomfortable, for the most part, we're uncomfortable with some of this new stuff.
I don't even watch half of this new stuff, to be honest.
Exactly. So, I'm talking about things like the alphabet community and all this kind of stuff. I think alphabet community. So, LGBT creed.
Look, I don't pay attention to half of this stuff. I don't. Even social media.
I didn't want to call it.
I barely pay attention to anything. Like, these things that...
So this,
if you don't tell me, I don't know.
Oh, that's what they call it on YouTube, alphabet community.
Okay.
So,
I didn't know that.
Ways of life that have always existed, in my opinion, but it's not in our face like that.
Right.
Let me give you another example. Like, a woman showing cleavage. My wife looks beautiful, by the way. But...
no one can take that one away from me.
At one point, it was turtleneck. Everybody wore turtleneck all the way there. That was just that time, right?
I don't like turtleneck at all.
Now we need to see what the in between of your aya look like.
Yes, sir.
Right? Well, that's not the only thing that is being shown now. People are showing from that to all kind of content that that we don't want to see. So. Is that a good thing? Well, some set of individuals, still the minority, is not feeling free and say our voices can be heard, whatever that means. We can live our life in free, but in the grand scheme of things, that's the analogy I'm making, right? Is that good for us? When you push out certain TV shows, while that story might look a certain way for the whole world, there's somebody sitting in the hall that story means I need to go home right now. They're sitting there with their husband. I'm ending this marriage today.
Yeah, it's like a wake-up call for them.
Yes, they can relate.
Yeah, they can
so
relate.
This person says, seeing this is 40. That night wasn't the romantic date night I was hoping for. They were actually on a romantic date night.
Okay.
But it ended up being an important wake-up call. Did you read that?
Nope.
Jesus Christ.
Everything is relatable.
Jesus Christ.
Related to that.
She says, I'm a sucker for romantic comedies. So 10 years ago, when I started seeing trailers for the movie This Is 40 was a movie.
Okay.
I knew it would be on a date night list. What I didn't know was this is what I said about date night. I like date nights on the surface. Don't think it's gonna fix your issues.
No.
All by itself. Date night is where I go to have fun with my babe. I go. We just had one 2 nights ago.
Things are
good.
Where
I don't go there to talk or to fix an issue or to brush our issues under the rug. Right?
Take me out with that.
Right. She doesn't want me, which is a bad habit, look, to be on the phone. Right. I try not to be. But when she does say you're on your phone again, it's banterish. It's not where. That's what Pastor told you the other day. You don't be like your mates, right? Right? It's banterish.
You don't listen.
So, anyway, I knew it would be on my date night list. What I didn't know was how unforgettable that movie would be. Not because of how much I loved it, but because it turned out to be the last movie I saw with my husband before we got divorced. In This Is 40, which premiered December 21, 2012. Leslie, shout out to offpost.com, by the way. That's where we're getting this from. Leslie Mann and Paul Rudd played Debbie and Pete, a married couple, both about to turn 40, while dealing with struggling businesses. Those are things that cause stresses, right?
Yeah.
Parenting 2 daughters and trying to discover a connection in their marriage. Somebody went to a movie to go and watch a movie where they were doing connection date night, and they're watching other people trying to discover connection in their marriage, and this is how they collected stray bullets.
What? Jesus.
I've been looking forward to seeing the movie for weeks, knowing my husband and I could use a date night. Could use a date night means they've exhausted. There's a long time.
Yeah.
They haven't gone in a while, right? With some comic relief, with some way to focus on someone else's marital problems instead of our own. The movie was supposed to be the date night gold, a rom-com, romantic comedy, I guess. A rom-com about the ups and downs of marriage, the complicated relationship between parents and their kids, and the horrors of turning the big 40. They were turning 40. I was supposed to laugh along with all the other couples in the movie theater, relieved. See, let me say this before I continue. A lot of people go and watch romantic comedies, especially when they're in crisis. It's a bad idea. Yeah, it's a bad idea. Or other people suggest romantic comedy for you because they think they're trying to help you rekindle your marriage.
That's awkward.
I think it's also a bad
Watching
idea.
a romantic comedy with you when we're in a bad space.
Yeah, I think it's
weird.
I think it's a bad idea. There's always at least one of the partners, one of the couple, that's even irritated by the whole idea.
And rolling eyes and
like because
don't be me.
They're on the extreme of the interpretations. They either interpret it as
manipulative,
or they interpret it as maybe I can fall in love again, and then they go and smother the partner who is not in that space to death. Or they're fantasizing about where their relationship is not right now. It's just I don't know. I think it's a very dicey thing. That's what I'm trying to say. I was supposed to laugh along with all the other couples, then relieved that I still had a few years before the scenario like mammograms and colonoscopies became my reality. Jesus Christ. But the movie wasn't funny. In fact, by the end of This Is 40, I almost hoped the main characters wouldn't get their happy ending.
She hoped
they wouldn't. Anyway, let me leave this because it's a long one. The movie ended, the theater cleared out, and my husband and I left Debbie and Pete behind as the characters. And as my gut told me, while I was sat through a movie that couldn't put our problems on pause, even for a couple of hours, my husband and I didn't get our happy ending. Oh, there's more. Let me see here. But it's been 10 years now, a decade since the romantic comedy felt more like a tear-jerking drama. Now every time the movie is on, I watch it, I embrace it for what it was, and I'm thankful for how it nudged me to choose happiness, even though it was a different version of happiness than what Debbie and Pete find. All right, so what's your take on this movie? Let me get your take.
I don't know. For me, I feel like the way they were emphasizing on this is 40, this is 40, this is 40. Everybody, chill. Pause.
Jesus Christ.
Choose your own 40, because I can tell you right now, this year I'm going to be 42, but I feel young as ever. 40 is not.
Where's the rest of the 20, baby?
It's not a doomsday. The way people put pressure on age, the way it's like the whole thing is a rat race. So you already have that pressure of, oh, you're about to turn 40 and you're parenting and you have your financial issues. You have all. How about we should all start learning how to live in the moment?
Yeah.
Because I think those are the things that
You're talking about
actually
colonoscopies and mammograms. That's life now.
That's life. I got my first mammogram this year. I didn't go when I turned 40. I just couldn't get to it.
Right.
And when I went, it was kind of weird and uncomfortable. And I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta do this every year. It is what it is. I'm gonna be back next year to do it so that I make sure I'm healthy all the time. All I'm gonna say about this is, guys.
Yes. And relax.
Choose your battle.
Listen,
because
you might be.
will have parenting issues. We don't get along every time when it comes to certain things, and we get along for the most part when it comes to parenting.
Right.
But little things are baby, just let that go.
Yeah.
And you say no, I can't let that go because kiniko. Those moments, and I'll back up.
Right. Yeah. There's some like that, but for the most of it,
choose your battles. You just have to let go. You don't have to win everything. So the one that irritated me the most is this is 40. 40 is not a doomsday.
That's the title of the movie.
I get it. But when she was talking about the mammograms, and I'm like, okay. And so I feel great. I'm about to be 42. So I feel awesome.
I guess the movies. Those. Just gotta be careful because if you're going to go watch it for entertainment, go and watch it for entertainment. Don't start interpreting it for yourself, and then it becomes all this like.
If you're in a bad space, don't go and be watching something that will make you feel like it's that misery love company thing again. Like when you're miserable, you go and watch miserable things.
We've been in bad space before. What dates did we go? I remember we went to a few comedy shows. Live comedy shows. Live comedy shows up here.
Yeah, we've been in bad space sexually.
Romantically speaking.
But friendship-wise, we still had leverage because
we can go. So imagine. Each other. So the point I'm trying to extract from that is that we went to see what's his name, Marlon Wayans.
Yes.
Right. I think we were in the middle of a funk in terms of the marriage itself.
Right.
But we were friends, right? And I remember that night, I don't think throughout the course of that 90-minute show, I don't think I remember that the marriage was in the phone.
Because we were laughing my butt We were enjoying the comedy show. It was fun.
Now, if you are going to do something together, I think it's a good thing to do something together if you're in that place where you're trying to figure things out. But when you go on the internet and people said they go on date night and you now say I have to drag myself to date night, you gotta be careful with those things. Okay?
I think another thing that we need to emphasize on that we did not have was that vindictive nature.
Like you must hurt the other person.
Yes.
Hurt them back. Yeah.
We were confused as in where we are right now. How did we even get here? But we weren't deliberately trying to hurt the other person.
Right.
When you're being vindictive, it changes the whole dynamic.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have that, that's how I'm able to say, okay, I'm cooking food and I'm gonna cook your food as well.
Right.
I'm cooking for everyone. We're gonna eat, we're gonna, just enjoy the moment, even though nothing is still gonna happen in the back room. So it's very important for people to understand these things. Even though you're hurt, try to get yourself to a place where you can find some healing without trying to, because you trying to be vindictive and trying to hurt the other person, it's not going to make you feel better.
Be careful for the advices you hear on social media, including mine, including us here.
Very careful
when you are in that space, because you'll be interpreting based on with your pain. Engage counseling that's personalized, meaning they listen to your story.
Right.
Coaching, personalized, they listen to your story. Therapy, personalized, they listen to your story. A movie.
That wasn't even on social media.
A YouTube platform.
Yeah.
Right. They generalize stuff, and that means you can pick enough stuff to relate with when it's not really about you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just looking at this part where a whole movie will make you through your. Because she still hasn't blamed anything that the guy did badly. She didn't really mention anything in the article.
She could relate with everything. She's like, oh.
But it's like life just happened. It looks like she pulled out of the marriage purely because of emotional reasons. Right? She didn't say, because I read the whole thing before.
Oh, okay.
She didn't say the guy did something to me.
Yeah.
She's talking about just life events.
Yeah.
So it's emotional roller coaster.
It is.
And she put, and it's been 10 years. And they have children, right? Now, instead of I regret, which I don't encourage anybody to regret anything, she said, I found a different type of happiness. What is that? That's saying I graduated from a 40 years curriculum from my marriage. That's nonsense. That's nonsense. You acted out of emotions. Tia and Timera was one of them. Tia Maori is one of them. The husband literally said you're acting out of emotions after she went on the internet. It's all emotions. For the most part, I think it's emotions.
Your husband said that?
Yeah, he said that on Instagram.
That she's
He said,
acting out of
you know,
emotions?
every time you act out of emotions, you're going to create something. He said something to that effect.
Yeah.
That was the first statement he made.
Yeah. I think it was Mercy Johnson that said that anytime she's mad, she stays away from her phone. Because she doesn't want to go put anything on social media.
Because you will.
Because you will.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Guys need to stay away from social media when you're going through stuff. Running there and go and make yourself entertainment for other people is not good for you.
Yep.
It's only gonna bring you even lower in life.
Yep.
Well, you know, to each his own.
To each his own.